Though you're a Cavalier, your abilities are built around more than just charging. Hello everyone, and welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire, here with you today to talk about the first edition Pathfinder Cavaliers class abilities. But there is one other thing I want to cover before that, but before we get into anything, if you're new here to the channel, go on down there, hit that subscribe button, and become a regular member here at the Gamer's Den. Or, if you've already gone on ahead and listed yourself on such an incredible roster of legendary heroes, then go on down to hit that like button and share the video far and wide. But now, to start things off, I do have to cop to a couple of errors I made in the last video. The video going over the race, the stats, and the traits you want to look at, specifically the stats. I apparently had miscalculated. I'd done the math by hand, pen and paper and everything, and I looked at it again and realized I think I'd gone over a couple of points, and after putting it through a few different calculators, yeah, I went over just a little bit. And also, I'd arranged the stats incorrectly. Though wisdom is something you want to shore up for any martial class as best you can, for this particular build we're going for, we are going to rearrange things, and as you can see here, we have swapped around intelligence and wisdom, and we want to have at least an intelligence of 13 with these particular feat and ability combinations that we're looking for down the line. But now, let's actually go ahead and move on and talk about your class abilities. And to start us off, as a Cavalier, you are going to be proficient with light, medium armor, and heavy armor, as well as shields, but not tower shields. You also get proficiency with simple and martial weapons, 1d10 hit dice for each level, 4 skill points plus your intelligence modifier per level. You get good fortitude saves, but poor reflex and will saves. Then, for your first level ability, you gain Challenge. Once a day, as a swift action, select a foe within sight to deal 1 extra damage per level, while taking a -2 penalty to AC to all other enemies. The effect remains until the end of combat or the target is dead or unconscious, and you gain 1 extra use for every 3 levels after. Your order also affects your challenge abilities, and we'll cover orders in a moment here. The next first level ability that you gain is Mount. You gain a mount that works like a druid's animal companion, using your level as the druid level, so no penalties to that there. Medium and small size Cavaliers select different rideable mounts and don't take armor check penalties when making ride checks on this mount. The mount begins play with light armor proficiency as a bonus feat and is already combat trained. If the mount dies, after 1 week of mourning, the Cavalier may find another mount. All of its special abilities are not going to be in effect until after you level up again as a Cavalier. So this is pretty awesome to start with right there. I mean, mounts are useful in so many different situations. Now, we will cover what mount options you have available to you as medium or small size Cavaliers, but from a DM standpoint and a player standpoint, I guess, I would say the listing is just a little bit limited, though it is rules as written, and some DMs like to run things that way. But consult your DM, see what kinds of options might be available or open to you. Those options may well be better than the more basic list that's available to us at the beginning. But then we move on from there to Order, which is another first level ability. You select an order to pledge yourself to in order to gain bonuses, class skills, and special abilities. Each order has edicts that the Cavaliers must follow, and violating them loses you the benefit of your challenge ability. Then we gain Tactician at first level. You receive a teamwork feat as a bonus feat that you meet the prerequisites for, and it's a standard action for you to be able to share that feat with your allies within 30 feet for 3 rounds plus 1 more round for every 2 levels, and this is usable once a day plus 1 more time each day at 5th level and every 5 levels after. So this is pretty fantastic that your allies are able to use the the teamwork feat that you have, and they don't need to meet the prerequisites for it. You do, but that still is a pretty significant bonus, and teamwork feats can be hit or miss with how powerful they are, but using them with your allies will help to grant them more significant bonuses overall, making them much more useful, though it is a little bit difficult for you to qualify for the broader range of teamwork feats. But with this build, we'll have something pretty solid in mind to get us started off. Then for 3rd level, you gain Cavalier's Charge. You get a +4 bonus to melee on a charge instead of the standard +2 while you are mounted. You also don't take a penalty to AC after charging, but again, while you are mounted. Then at 4th level, you gain Expert Trainer. You gain 1/2 your class level on handle animal checks with animals that serve as a mount. You also reduce the time it takes to train a mount or teach a mount a new trick to 1 day per 1 week normally required, and you do this by increasing the DC by 5. You can train more than one mount at once, though you add a +2 DC for each extra mount. Now bear in mind that this is you gain 1/2 your class level on handle animal checks with animals that serve as a mount. So for your mount, you have this bonus for a wider variety of situations other than just training them out, teaching them tricks and the like. This, anytime that you need to make a handle animal check, you will gain this as a bonus, which is pretty significant for you. Then at 5th level, we pick up Banner, and the basic Banner ability, it's not bad, it's a good ability, but we have some options that are going to be much better. So for the basic ability at 5th level, for allies within 60 feet that can see it, your banner provides a +2 morale bonus on saves versus fear, a +1 morale bonus on attack rolls for charging, and at 10th level and every 5 levels after, these bonuses increase by 1. The banner must be small or larger in order to be seen and effectively used. Now that's not bad, like I said, that's a good ability. But the other 4 options you have vary anywhere from being great abilities to the best abilities possible. You won't hurt at all for selecting any of them, but out of the bunch, I would say Fleet Standard is probably the best. You increase allies' land speed by 5 feet, and give a +1 dodge bonus to AC in any round that they moved at least 10 feet. At 10th level and every 5 levels after, the bonus speed provided increases by 5 feet. At 14th level, allies gain a +2 reflex bonus versus area effects, such as Fireball. When the Cavalier waves the standard, allies can move their speed as an immediate action. So as an immediate action, they can move their speed, which is already tactically useful in and of itself, especially if any of your allies have any significant bonuses to their movement. But as long as they move 10 feet and they get to do so as an immediate action, you are giving them that +1 dodge bonus to AC, which is great. So this ability synergizes with itself pretty well anytime you're waving that standard, and overall that bonus to movement speed is great, especially since, again, you're boosting their movement and your allies are going to get to move their movement. So all the way around, really, really great. Then at 6th level, you pick up bonus feats. You gain a bonus combat feat at 6th level and every 6 levels afterwards. Not as many as would be really great to have, but still, bonus feats are bonus feats, and you're gonna need all you can get to help really boost your mounted combat abilities. Then, at 9th level, you pick up Greater Tactics. You gain another teamwork feat that you meet the prerequisites for, and that you can grant to allies with Tactician, now usable as a swift action. Then at 11th level, we have Mighty Charge, which lets you double the threat range of weapons used on a mounted charge, and you can make a free bull rush, disarm, sunder, or trip attempt if the charge is successful, and this doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. Any of these things are just options for you to do now when you charge. No feats required, so all the way around, this makes your charging abilities incredibly impressive, and it's going to make it something that you want to do reliably and consistently anytime there's combat to be had. Then at 12th level, we have Demanding Challenge. As long as the target of a challenge is in the Cavalier's threatened area, they take a -2 penalty to AC. Now, that penalty in and of itself isn't huge, but it's still a penalty to AC in your threatened area, and all of your allies can take advantage of it without disrupting your challenge ability or any other abilities you may have. Then for 14th level, you gain Greater Banner. Allies within 60 feet receive a +2 morale bonus on saving throws versus charm and compulsion effects or spells. The Cavalier can spend a standard action and grant allies in 60 feet an extra saving throw versus any one effect targeting them. Allies cannot benefit from this effect more than once per day, but still, once per day, being able to give your allies an extra saving throw just for being around you, within 60 feet of you and able to see your banner, that's pretty damn fantastic. That's huge, especially if they do end up failing a saving throw, a fairly critical one at that. So good ability. At 17th level, you gain Master Tactician. You now gain another teamwork feat as a bonus, and can grant any 2 teamwork feats that you know to allies using Tactician, not just the bonus teamwork feats you've been gaining through these abilities. This assumes that you want to pick up more teamwork feats, which maybe we do, but, you know, it just leaves things open there. Even if you just have the 2 of the bonus feats that you're granting to your allies, that should be significant and sufficient for most encounters. But for your 20th level ability, for your capstone, you gain Supreme Charge. When making a mounted charge, deal double the normal damage, or triple if you are using a lance. If you confirm a crit on this charge, the target is stunned for 1d4 rounds. A will save reduces this to staggered for 1d4 rounds, so it doesn't eliminate the fact that they're getting a debuff, it's just going to be debuff, it just makes it not as bad. But the DC for it is 10 plus the Cavalier's attack bonus, so that's a DC 30 will save. That's room for a lot of different kinds of creatures to fail right there, on top of the fact that you're going to be dealing massive damage to them when you make a critical hit with this. So this is fantastic. But, you know, we have certainly plenty more things to go over. We have to talk about the orders. We also have to look at the different mounts, which will be coming up on Saturday. So that'll be coming down the line. And remember, orders give you other special abilities. So we'll talk about a couple of different options that you may have available. But what did you think? Did you like this overview? Did you think I covered the abilities really well? Or is there something that you might give greater or lesser emphasis to? Either way, hit those like or dislike buttons and go down to the comments below and let me know your thoughts so that we can engage in discussion. And remember, if you haven't done so already, go on down and hit the subscribe button and become a regular member here at the Gamers Den. But with all that said, I've been your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. Thank you all so very much for your time, and you all have yourselves a good night.